Out with custom corporate apparel, branded uniforms, and promotional swag that gets attention. From trade shows to team uniforms, we've got you covered. Radware even works with major names like the University of Florida. Boost your brand visibility today. Visit radware.com. That's radware.com and let your brand shine.
If there's anybody that knows what teamwork and great leadership is all about, it's the head ball coach himself, Steve Spurrier. Sure, it applies to football and the team at Campus USA Credit Union.
Yeah, I think we got excellent leadership with Jerry Benton and his staff there, and certainly I'm proud to team up with those guys as we go from year to year.
Campus USA Credit Union can help with all your financial decisions. Join the team. Learn more at campuscu.com. Member NCUA.
Summer in Gainesville means sunshine, barbecues, and storm season right around the corner. Don't wait until disaster strikes to think about your roof. Whether it's your home or your business, Atlantic Roofing has you covered. From inspections to full replacements, their expert team handles both residential and commercial roofing, built to stand up to Florida's toughest weather. Get ahead of the storm. Protect what matters most. Visit AtlanticRoofingFL.com today for your free estimate. Atlantic Roofing. Roofing you can trust, rain or shine.
Domino's carryout deal means you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each when you order online or by phone. Just in case there's any confusion, we've even set up a helpful website to confirm if today is a day you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each. Just go to howaboutoday.com to find out if Domino's carryout deal is valid today. Spoiler alert, it is. Carryout only. Ask for this offer. Availability and charges may vary. Size availability varies by crust type. Excludes XL and specialty. Your local store may charge extra for some toppings and sauces.
Hi, I'm Kerry Meldon. At Meldon Law, we prepare every case as if it's going to trial. And part of that preparation involves real people from our community giving honest feedback. Join one of our jury research focus groups. You'll review real case scenarios, share your perspective, and enjoy dinner and dessert on us. We'll thank you and provide you $125 for your time. It's engaging, meaningful, and your voice truly matters. Visit meldonlaw.com to sign up today.
Gator fans, this one's for you. Introducing Castaway Sauce Company, the hot sauce made by Gators for Gators. Their signature ball kicker hot sauce is inspired by Steve Spurrier's famous kick that beat Auburn in '66. If you love hot sauce with real flavor, not just heat and vinegar, Castaway delivers. Available at select public supermarkets, Castaway Sauce Company is founded by a lifelong Gator and proud UF alum. From mild to wild, they've got a flavor for every Gator tailgate. Grab your Castaway hot sauce today and taste the tradition. Learn more at CastawaySauceCompany.com.
This summer, bring every game home. Baseball, soccer, golf, like never before. With a stunning new home theater system from Electronics World. Gainesville's preferred choice for home theater, surveillance, and smart home solutions. Delivering the best products, the best service, and the best price. Don't just watch the game, live it. At Electronics World. Gainesville's preferred choice for home theater, home surveillance, and smart home installation and service. Visit electronicsworld.net for more. That's electronicsworld.net.
When you're ready to feel the wind in your hair or trade traffic for trailheads, then you're ready for real summer fun. And Radiant Credit Union is ready to get you there. ATVs, UTVs. If it kicks up dirt and makes your weekend better, Radiant has special loan rates right now with flexible terms and fast approvals. The only thing you'll be waiting on is your friends to catch up. Start your adventure today at radiantcu.org. Loans subject to credit approval. Radiant is federally insured by NCUA.
From the Spurrier's Gridiron Grill Studio, WRUF Gainesville, W251CG Gainesville, WRUF FM HD2, and on the WRUF radio app. This program is paid for by Weeby Marketing.
Lawson sends it out to left center field. This ball's hit pretty well. It's traveling, and it's going to get out of here.
Swinging a fly ball, right field. Guess what? It is a grand salami.
And that is launched. And it's gone past the video board.
It's time for On Deck.
The Gators have their biggest inning in over a decade.
So here comes the payoff pitch from Barberi. And did he go? Yes, he did. Strikeout number 16 for the Gators, and Florida does in fact get the shutout.
On Deck is shining because of our title sponsor, International Diamond Center, the official jeweler of Florida Gators baseball.
Jocelyn Erickson, welcome to the 200 Club.
And brought to you in part by Titan MRI and Imaging, Meldon Law, Silverback Concrete, Campus USA Credit Union, B&D Electric, Quality Plumbing, Atlantic Roofing, Castaway Hot Sauce, Coke Zero, Holiday Inn University Center, International Gold and Watch Exchange, Miapa Latin Cafe, Ruse Ogra State Farm, and by Spurrier's Gridiron Grill.
Alongside Jeff Cardozo, here's Steve Russell.
We welcome you to another edition of the On Deck Show. Charlie will produce it today. We are fresh back from a trip to Oklahoma where the Gators take 2 of 3. We are now down to 2 SEC weekends. Gators softball is now in the SEC tournament. They will play Thursday morning. That's being held in Lexington. Jeff Cardozo, Steve Russell here. We will come to you from the International Diamond Center studios. International Diamond Center, the official jeweler of the Florida Gators. We'll talk about all things Gator baseball, softball, SEC, some MLB too. Our phone and text line questions brought to you by Titan MRI and Imaging, 3 locations to scan you better. Our Facebook Live question brought to you by Meldon Law, the only official injury and accident law firm partner of the Florida Gators. YouTube questions, they're brought to you by Silverback Concrete. You stand on it, and we stand by it. Well, we got back late, but it was worth it. Gators taking 2 at Oklahoma, and anytime you went on the road, good thing in the SEC.
And that's the way this team's been. A lot of road wins, more than at home,
yes.
Which is a little strange. You don't normally see that, especially against the league. But, yeah, you give Florida a lot of credit to have the heartbreak that they did on Friday night. You're ahead, and you got Aiden King on the mound. You go to the bullpen needing 6 more outs with a 2-run lead, and they can't secure it. That team could have very easily gone the other way and folded. So I think you give the coaching staff a lot of credit for what they were able to do. And, obviously there was some conversations, some different things with different people to say, hey, you guys got to be better. And it was lined up perfectly, the exact same way that, Kevin O'Sullivan would have drawn it up, and the players just didn't execute. But they bounced back nicely Saturday, Sunday, and the offense obviously got going and did their thing, and you got good enough pitching to survive. So, and it was big, too, because you were playing a team in Oklahoma that was almost identical. From a resume standpoint, you look at the amount of wins, you look at the conference wins and losses and all that type of stuff. So it's another team now that you have the tiebreaker against if it comes down to it. And certainly that head-to-head when you're looking at a regional host or something like that is going to be big.
Jeff, I got some emails during sports scene, and I saved them because they were baseball, softball related here. William loves Sully, but having McDonald sit the bench for most of the year when he was an all-Cape player and crushing the ball up there is coaching malpractice. Maybe one of the worst decisions he's ever made. Better late than never, but bad. Maybe time to put Kurland on the bench. Keep waiting for him to be that guy. He was as a freshman, not happening. Averages in good, power non-existent. Analytics tell me not a very good defensive second baseman. If we aren't getting much with the stick, I'd rather go with Miller or Myers and get a quality defender in there. We might have the worst middle infield defensively in the league as currently constructed.
I would actually, if it came down to it, I'd go NATO at second because I think he can give you a little bit of offense. And I think the defense is just – I mean, Myers is not on that side of the infield guy. I think you put Myers at short or third, and Miller's not really a second baseman either. So I think NATO would be the option if you eventually get to that, but they'll never get to that point. I mean, it's Kurland, and they know the potential that's there, and he's just struggling. It's like, you're going to bench Lawson right now just because he's hitting a $170 over his last 3 weeks? Yeah. No. So you have to let him. There's hot and cold, and you got to let him duke it out. And then I think hindsight, a lot of people are going to say that about McDonald and the situation, and I do think maybe he should have gotten a few other opportunities just to try him out, but they did at Miami. He didn't look good. He didn't look ready for the situation, and then Cole Stanford was hitting. They really liked him, and he was hitting home runs left and right, and they had a lot of depth, and certainly early on in the year when Strayer's playing a lot, that means that Kendall was riding the bench and Yost is riding the bench, and there's 2 or 3. Miller, of course. Like there was a lot of players, and you're not going to go to McDonald when he's only hitting half the time. So you're going to go to those other guys first, guys you brought in to hopefully make an impact, and they just never did. So I think you got to give actually credit to those guys. And, I think McDonald had almost like mailed it in, and he was going to – I'm not hitting the rest of the year, so I'm going to just go and try to be a good pitcher. And they kind of forced – because everybody else struggled, and it was at that time to now do something. So I don't think that it's malpractice by any means. It's just there was a lot of other guys that they wanted to try, and it just finally got to the point where they need him, and hopefully he can stay hot the rest of the way.
Greg, not a baseball fan, blown away by the 7 homers in the game. Was that a Florida home run record for a single game?
8 is the record against Cincinnati 2023. But they had 7 against Stetson in 2024, so it's happened a few times.
He said, Steve, if you had to pick between Florida baseball and Florida softball, which team would go further in the postseason? I would say softball right now.
Sure.
Today. That can change in a week, but I would say right
I'm with
now. Okay, Greg, thank you for that. Let's see here. I got another one, Jeff. I got to find it. But in the meantime, let's do Team of the Week, brought to you by B&D Electric. B&D Electric has your home's electrical system always game day ready. From repairs and lighting to panel upgrades and troubleshooting, they deliver every time. Don't foul out. Schedule them today at bdelectric.com. Team of the Week.
Well, I can't go Kansas because I picked Kansas last week, even though they keep winning. So I will go to – I think probably for me the team that had the best week was Alabama. They went undefeated again. They swept a Vandy team that was – really fighting for their lives, and for them to be able to do that and kind of solidify, in my opinion, like a top 8 national seed now. They've got 3 big sweeps, including the Gators, and I think they've been kind of an up and down team, but it's a program that's been kind of like knocking at the door for these last couple of years and just never really able to get over the hump. And I liked their lineup when we saw them. I thought they did a pretty good job. Obviously, that's the team that threw the no-hitter against the Gators as well. So I'm going to give it to Alabama for doing something in that sweep of Vandy that they hadn't done since 2009. So it's hard to do.
I'm going to go LSU because they rose from the ashes. Now, they didn't beat a good team, but they were on life support, and they still are. I mean, to get to 13 wins, they have to go 4-2 these last 6 games, including beating Florida. But they would have had no shot had they not swept South Carolina, so I'm going to give it to them. Darryl, any update on Lawson?
No update, but I think the indication and talking to a few people after the game yesterday that it was nothing that was going to be really, really bad. I think from where it got him and the way he was acting after the game, this is before an MRI and all that other stuff, they obviously you're worried a little bit, but at least the concern wasn't like, oh my gosh, season's over for Lawson.
Yeah, because when we first saw it, and the first reaction
it was a little scary.
Yeah, real scary. All right, talk to JP. JP, hello.
Yeah, hey guys. I wanted to talk about Cleveland baseball. They're playing the Kansas City today, and there's a special day in Kansas City. You probably know about it. Jack Caglione bobbinhead, blazing bat bobbinhead. And Jeff, you need to get a hold of him and get a couple of those bobbinheads and get one to me. But anyway, I'm a serious Indians Guardians fan, and I wanted a couple of years ago for the tribe to draft Cags, and I talked to Antonelli and sent him all the stats, and they just decided to go the other way. They needed a second baseman, so they took that boy Travis Pisano, and he's doing a pretty good job getting started.
Yeah, and I think at the time, there were still, I think, concerns from teams because Cags was adamant on wanting to pitch as well. And, I think you had to obviously get to that point. But Pisano was like a stud. I mean, if you were talking about one of the best players in college and everything that he was able to do, certainly at a position that doesn't give you a lot of pop, I think that was probably the right way to go. I mean, there's a lot of guys that are big and strong like Cags and can do different things. So I thought Pisano was a good pick. And, you put him in there with Jose Ramirez, who I went to the Braves Cleveland game when we were in Athens, and
I felt sorry for you.
I sat over there by third, but so I got to see Jose Ramirez, quite a bit right in front of me. I didn't realize he was so short, but he hit a home run in the game, and I was like, man, it was cool to see him because, it's right there. And then I think, the one question too, JP, is Stephen Kwan going to get back to having that year he had a couple of years ago, and the reason why he stayed. So we'll see. But I like the DeLauder kid too. I mean, they've got some dudes on the team, and then the Sheenman guy who I never even heard of. So I actually did a little research on him, and that's kind of a fun little story too. So we'll see. I mean, Stephen, I like the manager, Stephen Voigt, and stupid Parker Messick, the Seminole, has been really, really good. So we'll see if he continues.
Yeah, I was felt sorry for you because I know the Tribe beat you 6-0 that night, but they clobbered us the next night.
Yep.
I wanted to talk about Cleveland's pitching. They're known for their pitching. They've got such a strong minor league system. They're the second youngest team in baseball. And I wanted to let you know that Mace, Leftwich, and Aliman are all on the Clippers at AAA.
Yeah, AAA. I know. It's kind of crazy.
They all moved up. But the problem is Mace is the starter, Leftwich is pretty much a starter, and Aliman is the closer.
Mm-hmm.
But they've got Mace and Leftwich coming in out of the bullpen. And those minor league games are running, 10-8 and 12-6 and stuff like that. So they're bringing Mason in the ball game, and they brought him in the other day through 4 straight walks.
Oh, wow.
And so both Mace and Leftwich had good years at Akron last year. And Aliman was ready to make the major league team, but he got a hernia and he has pitched in 12 games and given up 0 runs.
All right.
In 12, and he's moved from the setup guy to the closer, and Cleveland's going to need him pretty soon. So I would anticipate they'll bring him up pretty quickly. They brought the closer
up. All right,
up.
JP, I got to have you wrap this up. We got to take some other stuff here.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to see. I'm a Giants fan in the National League, and I'm glad to see Bader back. It looked to me that Bader is just too big. He's gotten too muscular, and he's hitting 133. And so I know he was hurt, but I'm pulling for him. But anyway.
All right. Thank you, JP.
Maybe you guys need to talk more about Major League Baseball. Thanks a lot.
All right. Thank you. Well, you certainly talked a lot about it right there, so that certainly helped us out a lot. Coach of the Week brought to you by Campus USA Credit Union, putting some star power to work in your financial life for 90 years. Campus USA Credit Union. What do you got, Jeff?
Coach of the Week.
I'll give you mine.
Okay.
Andy Stankiewicz, USC.
Yeah, he's been good.
USC used to be, back in the day, those West Coast teams, the Anteaters and all that. And USC used to be Rod Dato, way back when. And USC's now back in the rankings, so he's done a good job there. I know nothing about their team except that they're back in the top 25, so he gets my nod.
Yeah, I mean, I guess since we're talking Major League Baseball, and the Braves are having the best start they basically had in franchise history since like the 1800s, and they just play really, really hard. Walt Weiss, and now in his first year, which I was a little sad because I was hoping David Ross would get that job, and they give it to Weiss, who was the bench coach, and he's changed the culture a little bit more. And then, of course, you saw him out there when there was the benches clearing brawl, and he's tackling the opposing, pitcher and doing all these things. I think they love playing for him, and something is clicking. And the Braves coming out of spring training were a team that nobody thought was going to be successful because of all the injuries and everything else. Yeah. So they've got a lot of dudes playing really, really hard, and you got to give credit to Walt Weiss for that.
No question about it. We'll take a break. We'll come back. More to come on deck. You're listening on WRUF.
Gator baseball is in full swing, and the road to Omaha runs through WRUF.
The jewelry store with the most likes, the most positive reviews, the most raving fans is International Diamond Center.
IDC is definitely a place that I will come to as long as I live here. This will be my go-to place always.
Literally the best jewelry store in town. You'll make friends for life coming in here. I felt like family from the beginning. The value was extraordinary.
I've got a beautiful diamond on my finger, and I'm very proud of it.
International Diamond Center.
I'm very happy to show it off.
At Celebration Point and online at shopidc.com.
It's never fun being injured. And with summer on the way, the last thing you want is lingering pain holding you back. Good news. You don't have to deal with long waits or high costs at Titan MRI and Imaging. At Titan MRI and Imaging, you're not just another patient. You're treated with care in a comfortable, personal setting. With 2 locations in Gainesville and 1 in Lake City. Being pain-free is a short drive away. And they accept insurance. So don't sit out this summer. Get the scan you need and get back to enjoying it. Visit TitanMRI.com to learn more.
Hi, I'm Kerry Meldon. At Meldon Law, we prepare every case as if it's going to trial. And part of that preparation involves real people from our community giving honest feedback. Join one of our jury research focus groups. You'll review real case scenarios, share your perspective, and enjoy dinner and dessert on us. We'll thank you and provide you $125 for your time. It's engaging, meaningful, and your voice truly matters. Visit meldonlaw.com to sign up today.
Concrete is tough, long-lasting, durable. And when it's done right, it's the foundation of everything that stands strong. At Silverback Concrete, we don't just pour concrete, we build trust one slab at a time. We're a family-led team of heavy concrete specialists who sweat every detail, from footers to elevated decks. We respect your budget, we build to last, and we care about the people on the job today and those who will walk these floors tomorrow. You stand on it, we stand by it. Silverback Concrete, we've got your back. Visit silverbackconcrete.co to get started.
It's game day. Lights on, fans ready, everything running like it should. Now imagine your home performing at that same level. No flickering lights, no tripping breakers, no last-minute surprises. With B&D Electric, your home's electrical system is always game day ready. From repairs and lighting to panel upgrades and troubleshooting, they deliver reliable service you can count on every time. Don't sit on the sidelines. Schedule your service today at www.bdelectric.com. That's bdelectric.com.
If there's anybody that knows what teamwork and great leadership is all about, it's the head ball coach himself, Steve Spurrier. Sure, it applies to football and the team at Campus USA Credit Union.
Yeah, I think we got excellent leadership with Jerry Benton and his staff there, and certainly I'm proud to team up with those guys as we go from year to year.
Campus USA Credit Union can help with all your financial decisions. Join the team. Learn more at campuscu.com. Member NCUA.
Every great team is built on a solid game plan, sharp execution, and total trust in the crew beside you. At Quality Plumbing, we bring that same championship mindset to every job we do. For over 40 years, we've been the starting lineup for homes and businesses across North Central Florida, delivering reliable service, expert craftsmanship, and big wins for our customers. Call us today or visit qualityplumbing.com. We're your first string team. License number CFC 043073.
You're listening to On Deck with Steve Russell and Jeff Cardozo, right here on WRUF.
At International Diamond Center, don't settle for a knockoff diamond. You can get the best diamonds at the best prices. Quality, selection, value. International Diamond Center, the official jeweler of the Florida Gators. Welcome back to the On Deck Show. Jeff and Steve here with you. Charlie producing the broadcast today. Let's do our relief pitcher of the week, Jeff, brought to you by Castaway Hot Sauce. Hot sauce with real flavor, not just heat and vinegar. Built by Gators for Gators. Castaway Hot Sauce is available at select Publix supermarkets.
It's a guy that anybody listening probably has not heard of, but Reese Bowie is his name. He is a sophomore, and he's a pitcher at Wake. And Wake ended up sweeping Louisville this weekend, but he got to do like every pitcher's dream because they kind of played it where you're trying to figure out, you know, hey, what do I do in this situation? Lefty, righty, all this other stuff. So he's a lefty. They brought him in, and then they ended up bringing in another arm after him. But instead of him coming out of the game, the coach put him in left field so he could then come back in.
Yeah.
So he ended up not throwing for a couple of hitters, came back in, got the final 2 outs, got the save, and you know, it's kind of cool to sit there. He didn't get a ball out in left field, which would have been even better. But, you know, fun when coaches are able to do that and understand how you can manipulate the system a little bit, kind of like, you know, what the Gators were doing a little bit with Caden McDonald.
Yeah, it's also good when it works.
Sure.
Because sometimes it can
it
fail.
does not.
But hey, you know what? I understand if, let's say the ball was hit to him and he didn't catch, you know, all right. I mean, you take a chance.
Sure.
Right? In this case, his chance worked. I don't have any problem with that. All right, let's do our top 4 teams, and that's brought to you by Coke Zero. The new and improved recipe tastes like real Coca-Cola with 0 sugar and 0 calories.
Well, it's the same 3 that I had last week: UCLA, North Carolina, Georgia Tech. Those guys aren't doing anything to hurt their chances. And I think still that fourth team is either Texas or Georgia. It's hard to tell Georgia because it's a high RPI, strength of schedule's in the 40s, but they just keep winning. But they also have a extremely easy SEC schedule, but so does Texas. And you looked at it before the year that you thought that Texas probably had the easiest when you were looking at the schedules, and then LSU gets bad and a few other teams. But I don't know. I guess there's a 4A and a 4B. One of those SEC teams, either Texas or Georgia, is probably the next best.
Art asked a question that we were wondering, Jeff. Why did Florida not throw on all the stolen bases? You guys seem perplexed by it, too. Nice to take 2 of 3.
Yeah, I think a little bit, again, is just you're getting that big of a steal, like a lead, and that's what Oklahoma does. When they get the lead, they kind of run a lot, and they try to press the issue. And I think especially with 2 outs, you're not going to risk that chance of trying to throw a runner out at second and then potentially giving up another run, a cheap one, coming home. So there was a lot of different things, and a lot of it was with 2 outs, so then you're moving from second, stealing third, stuff like that. And you're not going to normally pay attention to a guy that's maybe out at second trying to steal third with 2 outs because he's going to score on a base hit anyway.
Dustin, great series win at Oklahoma. Caden, 2-way. Standard for his career best performance, 7 innings. Let's finish on a roll these last 2 weeks. Do you think Buchholz can beat Pace this weekend?
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Pace loves to chirp. That's going to be the big issue. I remember we had to go up there a few years ago, and it was probably a good thing that I wasn't there. I was doing a Gator game because I had heard some comments from parents, and I would have been all over. Might have gotten a fight in the stands with how bad they were up there. And fortunately enough, then Pace had to come here. But this is the regional final. And Buchholz has now been it for 4 straight years, and Pace has been the opponent a couple of times. So it's these 2 programs kind of battling out to go to the Final Four once again. But, yeah, give credit to Buchholz. They got there again, and we'll see what happens.
John, when that UF 2-way player hit that high homer over the weekend, what's the rule on fair or foul? Landing spot versus where it crosses the foul pole?
Yeah, it's where it crosses the foul pole, but it's really hard unless you got a laser on the foul pole and GPS and all these other things to try to see whether or not it is fair or foul. When the ball landed, it was easily fair, and of course it didn't start off that way. And I remember I went back and watching some of the highlights, and they put the TV broadcaster's call on it, and he said the same thing that we did during the broadcast. It was just there's a foul ball, and then all of a sudden it just kind of got up into that wind, and that was such a high baseball too. It's crazy if you kind of go back and look at what the analytics were on it.
And I don't remember ever seeing a ball move that much.
Yeah.
I mean, fair, foul, wrong, right. Just when I think I said this during Sports Scene, Jeff, that when we did the highlights when you were interviewing Sully, one of the ones we played was the home run, and you correctly said, there's a foul ball down there, very nonchalant, because it was foul. It was not even close to being fair. And then, wait a minute, I've never seen that, not like that.
Yeah, and I guess it's good that we kept watching the ball because the first base umpire didn't.
No,
he wasn't even paying attention, and I think that was part of the argument because, as the Oklahoma coach comes out, maybe that was part of the conversation because the home plate umpire is the one that had to make the call when it should be the first base umpire, but he gave up on it. He wasn't even paying attention. So I'm glad we at least watched it the whole way through.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Much more to come on deck. Stay with us here on WRUF.
Your home for the Tampa Bay Rays is WRUF.
Looking for a roof you can trust to weather any storm? Atlantic Roofing has been covering North Central Florida for over 20 years. We're a third-generation, locally owned roofing company. From Alachua to Marion, Bradford, Levy, Gilchrist, Columbia, and beyond, we've got your home, your business, and your back. Visit AtlanticRoofing.com or call today for your free estimate. Atlantic Roofing, where quality rises above.
Gator fans, this one's for you. Introducing Castaway Sauce Company, the hot sauce made by Gators for Gators. Their signature ball kicker hot sauce is inspired by Steve Spurrier's famous kick that beat Auburn in '66. If you love hot sauce with real flavor, not just heat and vinegar, Castaway delivers. Available at select public supermarkets, Castaway Sauce Company is founded by a lifelong Gator and proud UF alum. From mild to wild, they've got a flavor for every Gator tailgate. Grab your Castaway hot sauce today and taste the tradition. Learn more at CastawaySauceCompany.com.
It's first pitch time, Alachua County. The field is set, the crowd is buzzing, and baseball season is in full swing. From clutch hits and game-saving catches, baseball brings the passion, teamwork, and pride that unite our community. Whether you're on the field or cheering from the stands, Coke Florida, your local Coca-Cola bottler, is proud to support the moments that bring Alachua County together. Brought to you by Coke Florida, refreshing Florida fans. Here's to a winning season, on and off the field.
Looking for the perfect stay in Gainesville? Holiday Inn Gainesville University Center is just steps from the swamp, the closest hotel to UF. With 6 stylish floors of brand new everything, we've been completely renovated and fully remodeled for your comfort. Enjoy the best guest services in town, competitive rates, and a location you just can't beat. And don't forget about our rooftop pool. Whether it's game day, graduation, or a Gator getaway, make your stay extraordinary at Holiday Inn Gainesville University Center. Visit us online today for details and booking.
When the late great Charlie Daniels would need a place for jewelry he could trust, he turned to International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange.
Hi, I'm Charlie Daniels, and I live in Tennessee, but when I get ready to do something serious about jewelry or a gift for my wife or somebody, I always get in touch with the folks at International Gold and Diamond Exchange here in Gainesville. There's a lot of reasons for that. One reason is they sell nothing but the best.
Find out what Charlie was talking about for yourself at International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange at 3440 West University Avenue and online at igdwex.com.
Hey, Gator baseball fans, here's a win you can taste. When the Florida Gators take home a victory at Condren Family Ballpark, you win too at Miapa Latin Cafe. The day after every home win, swing by and score a free Cuban coffee, hot or iced, your choice. Just bring your game ticket to any Miapa location and claim your reward within 24 hours of the win. It's that simple. Gators win, you win. Only at Miapa Latin Cafe, serving Gator fans for over 20 years. Play ball!
Every great team is built on a solid game plan, sharp execution, and total trust in the crew beside you. At Quality Plumbing, we bring that same championship mindset to every job we do. For over 40 years, we've been the starting lineup for homes and businesses across North Central Florida, delivering reliable service, expert craftsmanship, and big wins for our customers. Call us today or visit qualityplumbing.com. We're your first string team. License number CFC 043073.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
I just got another NBA offer from Hard Rock Bet.
A Hard Rock Bet promo at the Hard Rock Bet Party? That is so meta.
That's not meta. That's Meta World Peace. Meta. Tell them about Hard Rock Bet.
Hard Rock Bet has it all. Live odds for every NBA game, every player prop, same game parlays, you name it. It's the only place I play these days.
Okay, now that is meta.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
On Deck continues right here on WRUF, your home for Gator sports.
As Yost awaits the 3-1 pitch, and it is hit hard and foul down the right field line. Although it's curving, it's coming back. Oh my goodness, it's gone. You've got to be kidding me. That ball was 15 feet foul. And nobody in the stadium even thought that that ball was going to do that. I think they're going to come out and argue and see if that ball actually hooked afterwards. But that ended up being fair by about another probably 15, 20 feet.
I've never seen that.
I have never seen that happen.
No, Jeff, I haven't either. All the years I've done Gator baseball, I have never seen a ball do that. I mean, that was clearly foul.
By a lot.
And all of a sudden, the wind, which is blowing right to left, took that thing, and it was fair by quite a bit at the end.
Yeah.
It's like going to the circus, seeing something strange like a six-fingered man or something like on Princess Bride. International Diamond Center carries an exceptional assortment of designer engagement rings, wedding bands, luxury watches, and fine jewelry. Locations across Florida and right there in Celebration Point. It is the heart of Gator Nation.
All right, welcome back to the On Deck Show. About halfway home here. Player of the Week brought to you by Holiday Inn University Center. Looking for the perfect stay in Gainesville, Holiday Inn Gainesville University Center, steps away from the swamp, the closest hotel to UF. Whether it's game day, graduation, or Gator getaway, make your stay extraordinary at Holiday Inn Gainesville University Center. Player of the week.
Well, since the SEC didn't give him Player of the Week, we'll give it to Caden McDonald, so he at least gets some kind of award. Maybe you can make a certificate or something just so he feels cool. But yeah, I still think what he did on Saturday. I mean, we've been doing this a long time, Steve. It's one of the greatest single games that I remember, just from what he was able to do in both aspects of it. And, Brian Johnson had a game like that, very similar. I remember in a regional. I'd have to go back and look exactly what he did. And, Cags did it too, where he pitched and hit a couple of homers. But, again, that was probably like a Sienna or Mercer. So to do that in that important of a game and kind of do it out of the blue where nobody really expected it, I think you got to give a lot of credit for what McDonald was able to do.
I agree totally. Let's bring Porter in. Porter, hello.
Hey, what are we doing today, guys? Austin Maddox, I think, had a game or two, a couple of games like that too. But you're talking about that home run from Hayden Yost. I had the TV on, but I wasn't watching. I was in another room, and so I heard their call on it first. And you could tell something was strange because they immediately started talking about the umpire and how the home plate umpire had to run out and call it. I'm almost positive it was fair because if you look where you could see the ball when it landed, and there's no way it moved that much in that short of a distance. So I'm confident it was fair, but I've never seen the ball do that either. It was like he hit a left-handed power fade. Yeah. Bringing it golf. It's a long season, only one game, and all the cliches you can say. But this seems like more than one game. If we lost yesterday, we've lost 3 straight series. We're 500, and now we're 2 games over 500. Not a whole lot different on paper. It doesn't seem like, but a series win on the road again. Against a ranked opponent, put that with Arkansas, put that with Georgia, put that with Miami, Florida State's, scattered around, all the series wins, and it's a totally different feel, even though it's only one game. How do you see? Say we win both of the remaining 2 series, 4-2, finish 17-13. Where do you think that puts us as far as the seeding for the SEC tournament, and where do you think that puts us nationally? I'll take it off the air. Go Gators. Be safe, guys. Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely puts you in the top 8 of the SEC tournament, which would then give you a bye. So that would be nice. I think it's right on the teetering line, I think, then when you look at top 8 national seed or certainly a regional host, and they would host a regional with the 17 wins.
Yes.
No matter what. It just depends how other teams do that are all lumped in there, because let's just say it's Alabama that you're even with. Well, then you probably give it to Alabama because
head-to-head.
You got that head-to-head. I mean, if it's an Arkansas or if it's Ole Miss who's right there too, like Arkansas, Florida has the advantage. Ole Miss, obviously Ole Miss has the advantage. So I think it's just really going to come down, honestly. Like, Steve, we're going to go into LSU and have no idea what the seeding is going to be like. That last weekend is going to be, I think, crazier than we've ever seen in a really long time.
I don't remember when that many teams were so bunched, to your point about, I mean, there could be a team that might be anywhere from 5 to 10, depending on the outcome of what a series is.
Yeah, I mean, there's 9 teams within 3 games of each other.
Yes, exactly
with
the
6
point.
to go.
Yes,
so
exactly the point. Brian says, what do you guys think on the last 2 upcoming series? Who do you think the Gators match up better with? I haven't seen Kentucky play this year. For the record, it seems they've had a drop-off from the previous couple of seasons. LSU series intriguing. Remember a few years ago having to win the series from Georgia on the road just to get to the tournament. It was the start of a journey to the College World Series.
Yeah, it was. And the LSU thing is fascinating to me, because I think when you look at now what they have to deal with, they're 9-15. And you obviously have Florida at the end, but they've got Georgia in Foley Field this week. So it's almost like if you're a Gator fan, you're probably rooting for Georgia to sweep them. That probably makes Georgia win the league, though, if that's the case. But then if LSU's only got 9 or 10 wins, let's just say they only win 1. Like, I don't know if they can get to that number then against the Gators. So their only hope is to win the SEC tournament.
Right.
So then you would think that they've got to be careful with their pitching in that final series, because then they're going to have to play on Tuesday, and then win Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, win 5 games in Hoover. So I think it's going to be really interesting how it plays out. Now, if all of a sudden they go to Georgia and win a couple of games, and now they're, 11-16, then they're going to go balls to the wall against the Gators and try to win a couple, because then they might sneak into the tournament.
Yeah,
so
if you get 13, in that scenario, they'd have 13.
Yeah.
If they beat Georgia 2, which is going to be very hard to do
Yeah.
at Foley Field, considering what LSU's done. I mean, look, can you beat somebody at home 2 out of 3? But if they go to Georgia and win 1, then, to your point, they're going to have to say, okay, our only chance is to win the SEC tournament. They may throw nobody against Florida.
And then, Kentucky's going to be interesting because they're a pesky, annoying team, and we'll see how the Gators handle it. Like, I'm going to have to control myself this weekend, I think, because it's just how they play, what they do. There's a hatred there. I think probably it's weird because probably the 2 teams I hate the most from a baseball standpoint are Kentucky and LSU, and that's who the Gators
end up with.
now have, other than Miami, of course, but in the league. But give credit to Kentucky. They've got 10 road wins this year. The only team that has more on the road are the Gators.
Florida, right.
So Kentucky has done really well away from their home ballpark.
Time for our 7th inning stretch with Miapa Latin Cafe, proud to sponsor Gator Athletics at all Gator baseball home games. When the Gators win, you win a free cup of Cuban coffee from any Miapa location. Just show your ticket. Go Gators, go Miapa. We'll take a break, come back. We still have time to hear from you as we continue with the On Deck Show on WRUF.
Hey, have you ever talked to Ruse Agra over at State Farm?
Oh yeah, Ruse is awesome. Helped me get a ton of coverage for way less than I expected, and he serves all of North Florida. Super friendly too, actually takes time to explain everything.
Really? I thought State Farm would be pricey.
No, surprisingly great rates. You get that neighborly service you don't find everywhere. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I might give Ruse at State Farm a call.
You should. Call 352-240-1779 for a free quote. You'll be glad you did.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
The jewelry store with the most likes, the most positive reviews, the most raving fans is International Diamond Center.
IDC is definitely a place that I will come to as long as I live here. This will be my go-to place always.
Literally the best jewelry store in town. You'll make friends for life coming in here. I felt like family from the beginning. The value was extraordinary.
I've got a beautiful diamond on my finger, and I'm very proud of it.
International Diamond Center.
I'm very happy to show it off.
At Celebration Point and online at shopidc.com.
It's never fun being injured, and with summer on the way, the last thing you want is lingering pain holding you back. Good news, you don't have to deal with long waits or high costs at Titan MRI and Imaging. At Titan MRI and Imaging, you're not just another patient. You're treated with care in a comfortable, personal setting. With 2 locations in Gainesville and 1 in Lake City, being pain-free is a short drive away, and they accept insurance. So don't sit out this summer. Get the scan you need and get back to enjoying it. Visit TitanMRI.com to learn more.
Hi, I'm Kerry Meldon. At Meldon Law, we prepare every case as if it's going to trial. And part of that preparation involves real people from our community giving honest feedback. Join one of our jury research focus groups. You'll review real case scenarios, share your perspective, and enjoy dinner and dessert on us. We'll thank you and provide you $125 for your time. It's engaging, meaningful, and your voice truly matters. Visit meldonlaw.com to sign up today.
Concrete is tough, long-lasting, durable. And when it's done right, it's the foundation of everything that stands strong. At Silverback Concrete, we don't just pour concrete, we build trust one slab at a time. We're a family-led team of heavy concrete specialists who sweat every detail, from footers to elevated decks. We respect your budget, we build to last, and we care about the people on the job today and those who will walk these floors tomorrow. You stand on it, we stand by it. Silverback Concrete, we've got your back. Visit silverbackconcrete.co to get started.
It's game day. Lights on, fans ready, everything running like it should. Now imagine your home performing at that same level. No flickering lights, no tripping breakers, no last-minute surprises. With B&D Electric, your home's electrical system is always game day ready. From repairs and lighting to panel upgrades and troubleshooting, they deliver reliable service you can count on every time. Don't sit on the sidelines. Schedule your service today at www.bdelectric.com. That's bdelectric.com.
Looking for a roof you can trust to weather any storm? Atlantic Roofing has been covering North Central Florida for over 20 years. We're a 3rd-generation, locally owned roofing company. From Alachua to Marion, Bradford, Levy, Gilchrist, Columbia, and beyond, we've got your home, your business, and your back. Visit AtlanticRoofing.com or call today for your free estimate. Atlantic Roofing, where quality rises above.
In the heart of Gator Country, some things are built to last. Traditions, family, and real wood furniture. At Wood U Furniture, we believe furniture should be more than something you replace every few years. It should be something you pass down, built to last generations. Choose beautifully finished pieces or ready-to-finish furniture you can make your own. Wood U Furniture. Real wood, real quality, right here in our community. Come visit our new showroom on Main Street, just north of our previous location, or online at woodugainesville.com.
From the UF Weather Center, here is your WRUF weather update.
After our comfortable day, temperatures will fall to around 60 degrees overnight. It will feel rather warm on our Tuesday with highs reaching 88 degrees. We trade in the 80s for 90s on Wednesday and Thursday. There will be a few scattered showers around during the end of the work week, but most of us will stay dry with increasing wildfire dangers. From the WFT Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Andrew Wolfak.
On Deck continues, right here on WRUF.
Fans International Diamond Center, the only official jeweler of the Gators. Shop exclusive, officially licensed Gator jewelry, from rings and bracelets to watches and Hall of Fame pieces, even featuring Jenny's Gems with Coach Jenny Rowland. Visit the International Diamond Center in Celebration Point or online. Show your Gator pride in style.
Welcome back to the On Deck Show. Bernard Byron will get to you in a second, but first, our softball review brought to you by International Gold and Diamond Exchange. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, trade, or repair luxury timepieces, the process begins with an honest evaluation and a clear offer. That comes from International Gold and Diamond Luxury, done easy. Well, they went to Georgia to end the year, and Georgia did a nice job, beat them 2 out of 3, but the Gators get some byes. They'll play in the SEC tournament this week. That's in Lexington. And look, I know, Jeff, sometimes the last thing you see, a fan says, oh gosh, but you know, Georgia's a good hitting team, and we'll see if the Gators bounce back from this. I'm not particularly worried. Their track record speaks for itself.
Yeah, and won the opener and blew the lead in the second one. They were up 7-2 in the second game and ended up losing it. So you're that close to winning the series. So you don't panic. Again, the Gators are going to be fine. They'll be at home for both a regional and a super regional if it gets to that point. And then same thing we've said all year long. They have to get good enough pitching, and Rothrock will have to be there, and he'll have to find somebody else to kind of at least give some innings to be successful, because she can't do it all.
No, you can't. All right, let's start with Bernard. Bernard, hello.
Hey, quick. How many guys in the regular rotation, everyday players, are hitting over 300? And second, I saw Friday night, Sully pulled Concello after either a walk or his basketball, maybe both. Does he now have a short leash with Sully, or does he just pitch the left-handed? I haven't seen him in person.
Yeah, no, I think I even thought he pulled Lugo Quinchol a little early, and there was a lefty coming up, and then a switch hitter after that. And I think the issue is there's a trust factor, and Lugo Quinchola has given up now 7 homers. And, a bunch of them have been 2-run shots. It was a 2-run lead, and I think Sully felt that, hey, I've got my closer in there. I'm going to bring him in. And obviously Reitner wasn't good that day at all. So it's just one of those. But listen, he brought him in the very next day, and he was the first guy out of the bullpen in a big spot, and he made it work. So, yeah, that's the way it's going to be. He's appeared in more games than anybody else this year out of any of the Gator pitching staff. So he'll be out there, and they'll run him out there a couple more times this weekend and just see what happens. And I think there's 3, if not 4, actually 4, if not 5 guys hitting above 300 right now. Now, it's not significantly above 300, but Lawson's just under 300 now because of his struggles. And then you've got Sear, Surowick, Jones will be all above 300.
Yeah, but right in that 305, 308 area there.
All right, okay, thank you. Have a great one.
Bernard, thank you. Hey, Byron, how are you?
Hey, Steve, real quick, I think it was Daryl, but, man, I enjoyed that more than any of y'all calls. I could hear the kids down there having a ball. That was like being at the game, man, and I know that got on some people's nerve, but the kids, it was some people just talking, and I think it was we won anyway. I can't remember which, but because I listened so much, but yeah, I enjoyed that. But guys, I believe in speaking stuff, so I think our pitching staff gonna get together. Liam, I don't be able to watch it as much as I do, but just watching the parts, I believe he's gonna finally just trust his stuff. And like you guys were saying, and Bernard, just the pitching staff, and I like that Mike Donald guy. And I think Lawson and them going to start getting it together. That's just me putting it out there. I think we're going to win 5 of the next 6. So if my for entertainment purposes come, well, would that put us hosting the regional, guys? Because I believe we're going to host the regional and make it to the super, but I don't know after that because everybody's so paired up. But what do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, that would put them at 18 and 12, and that would be probably a top 8 national seed if it comes down to that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'd take that right now. Then we don't even have to play the games and travel.
Well, that's my optimistic view, and I'm putting it out there. And real quick, guys, my question, Jeff, man, Ron Acuña, I think he's hurt, but I'm going to come back to that. But who do you think Tampa, and I grew up in Clearwater, the Phillies is my National League team, and I'm going to jump on the Brave bandwagon in a minute. But do you think any of my teams, Tampa or the Phillies, have a chance? And the Braves are doing well. Ron Acuña Jr. hurt. What is that chance for the Braves? And should I jump on the Braves bandwagon like the Knicks right now? All right, thank you. Go, Jeff. Go Gators.
All right, Byron. Yeah, I mean, the Braves are kind of running away with it right now. They've got an 8.5 game lead. Phillies obviously fired their manager, but then listen, they won 4 of the next 5 right after that. And Don Mattingly, I think, will do a really good job there. We'll see how that plays out. And then Tampa, listen, they're always going to be there. It's such a tough division with New York and Toronto, but the Orioles haven't been very good, and obviously the Red Sox fired their manager. So I think if you look at Tampa and the way Cash gets them to play, they'll be right there in the hunt throughout the entire year. So, keep rooting for Tampa. They've been really, really good at home this year. It seems like every game is close. I think the run differential is probably only 6 or 7 right now, but they're doing their thing.
All right, let's do our Quality Game of the Week, brought to you by Quality Plumbing. Quality Plumbers, Gainesville's trusted for over 40 years. Quality Plumbing, their name says it all. Game of the Week.
Well, yeah, I mean, it really just now comes down to what's going to happen in the SEC. And if you look at kind of the ranked games, probably the 2 big ones are Auburn, Mississippi State, and then Texas A&M and Ole Miss. So can Auburn stay hot and continue to do what they're doing? Mississippi State in Starkville hasn't been as good as what we've thought. We've seen other teams go in there and actually have some success. And then to me, I thought Ole Miss's staff was the best I've seen this year. And then now they're going to be playing Texas A&M, who I thought maybe had the best bats out of anybody this year. So I think that's going to be a weird, interesting series with 2 teams. And I guess if you're rooting for one or the other, you probably root for Texas A&M, because then Ole Miss is a little bit lower in the standings, and then maybe they can fall below Florida.
Yeah.
When it's all said and done.
Yeah, I think
you hope for a sweep either way, one way or the other.
I'm just going to say that because I think a sweep certainly would help Florida. Either way it goes. Best and worst of the week, brought to you by Ruzogra State Farm Insurance. State Farm agent Ruzogra is your go-to agent in Gainesville and North Central Florida for the service you deserve at the price you want. Best and worst.
I think best is, just getting to see another town. That's always fun for us to get out there and see different things. And in Oklahoma, the stadium sucked, but I think the town and for what it is, I mean, you really enjoyed getting over there and seeing the university.
Yeah,
it was
pretty.
Really nice, and just so it's fun. Like they still don't seem like an SEC school, I think, when you look at it, but the people were awesome. There was a lot to do in that town, and Oklahoma City was only like 25 minutes away, and got a day away to go check that out. So that was fun. I guess the worst part was just having the blown game. I mean, when you walk out of there and think that you really could have swept them, and the difference now between one game here and there in the standings, it stinks that Florida couldn't just get those final 6 outs.
All right, let's talk with Lee. Lee, hello.
Hey, Steve. I was bruising through the TV last weekend, and I come across Banana Ball. Have you seen that?
Oh, yeah.
Well, what I was talking about is they played over there in Kyle Field at Texas A&M Stadium.
Yep, 102,000 people were there.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, can you believe 102,000?
You know, I have mixed feelings about that. I love the fact it's entertainment, and that's what it is. And look, as a baseball purist, some of the things that they do, but the fact that they can do it, Jeff, the fact that they bring fun into it, they bring kids into it, and obviously it's really popular. So, I mean, if you draw 102,000 people to anything, that's pretty good. So give them a lot of credit for inventing that and sustaining it.
Yeah. All right, guys. Appreciate it.
Yep. Thank you, Lee. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fun. It's obviously different. They're not trying to do certain things, but like when a foul ball is caught, it's an out. Like, it's really cool because it just incorporates the fans into it as well, and you be a part of it. And I think, you know, that's something that we talk about a lot. When the fans are engaged, it makes for great atmospheres. When they're just kind of sitting on their hands, it's boring, and it doesn't really seem like that college-type feel. And, you know, I think this is what it should be about, all that fun.
Let's wrap up our next game preview, brought to you by Atlantic Roofing, personal and commercial roofing experts with quality, durability, excellence, and integrity. Over 50 years of experience, Atlantic Roofing brings the trusted expertise to any project you have.
Get to see a couple of former Gators tomorrow night, and a former teammate of mine, Joe Mercadante, the head coach at UNF, and Brad Wilkerson, a part of that staff as well. He'll coach third, and they're having a heck of a year. They beat Jacksonville 10-0 the other day, and they're going to come in and play hard. Now, you think that UNF still probably has to win the conference tournament in order to get into a regional, but I think they have shown that they're far and above better than anybody else in that league right now. And if they can, do that, I think I'd be all about it. But again, though, if they get in, they could be the 4 seed potentially coming to Gainesville, and they've got a guy that's their top pitcher that would then throw against the Gators. That's really, really tough. Now you're not going to see him Tuesday, but I think it'll at least give you an idea of what this team is all about if you potentially see him in a regional.
All right, we're winding down here, Jeff. We're down to a precious few games here. Florida's had, and look, there's other teams in our league that have had injuries, that have had to endure that, starting pitchers out, guys, regulars out. But Florida certainly had its share of injuries. If they get, Strayer may be back, if they get their injured people back, where do you think Florida's ceiling is if they get people back and they get everybody healthy and they're kind of, humming on all cylinders?
Well, if they're doing that, this team can win the national title. Like that's how high I believe in the pitching staff. Now, Reitner hasn't been as good down the stretch, but now if, McDonald's back and certainly Barberi, like the way that it's spaced out in Omaha, if King goes out and you're in Omaha and he wins that first game, and then all of a sudden Barberi doesn't really have to pitch, if he goes 7 or 8 or something like that, then you can go to Liam in the second game, and then let's just say that he's not very good, or he goes kind of like the normal thing for him.
5 or so.
Yeah, 3 or 4 runs over 5 innings.
Yeah.
Then you get Barberi the rest of the way. I mean, that's still enough for that offense to do something, especially if you say they're humming on all cylinders. But again, there's also games where they get no hit, or there's a game like Friday night where they went 4 straight innings against a guy with a 9 ERA and couldn't do anything. So it's just going to be if they get hot.
I'm glad you said that, because I'm going to say it in a different way. This is a hard team to figure out.
Sure.
And look, over the course of 56 games, you're going to have, most of the time, ups and downs, and, things go well and not. But you watch them defensively sometimes and just go, You watch them hit sometimes, and even the pitching has been. But when you see what they did over the weekend here, you think, wow, they can go up against just about anybody and beat them. And that's, I think, part of the charm of watching them and part of the frustration of watching them, because I think fans certainly expect more, but they're capable if they just get some things right.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I mean, there's a reason why they have, well, I guess, number 2 strength of schedule now, why the RPI is where it is, because of the difficulty of it all. And, I think they've done a good enough job in the games that they haven't won. Is they dropped a pop fly at third, or that would have been a win against another ranked team. Like right now, Florida has more quad 1 wins than anybody in the country. They've got 15 of those, and nobody's even, I think, within a couple on that. So that just shows you the ceiling of how good they can be. I mean, what they've done against top 10 teams this year, they're like 8-3 against the top 10. So that's a lot better than, some of these other things. So it just really depends on what happens and if they're humming all cylinders, like you say.
And in ending, I want to make that point. I understand where fans are upset if you lose to Jacksonville or Bethune-Cookman, but there's also, flip the pancake, okay? What Jeff just said. Florida's record against top teams is also really, really good, and the committee notices that. That is our On Deck for this week. Thanks to Charlie for producing it. Thanks to you for consuming it. Kevin's up next with the Sports Lab gang. Don't go away. I'll see you tomorrow on Sports Scene, and we'll have Gator baseball for you tomorrow night with UNF. From our broadcast partner, Jeff Cardozo, I'm Steve Russell. Enjoy the rest of your day. So long, everybody.
You can stand me up at the gates of hell, but I won't back down. No, I'll stand my ground. Won't be turned around.
Your home for Gators softball is 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and anywhere in the world on the WRUF mobile app.
If there's anybody that knows what teamwork and great leadership is all about, it's the head ball coach himself, Steve Spurrier. Sure, it applies to football and the team at Campus USA Credit Union.
Yeah, I think we got excellent leadership with Jerry Benton and his staff there, and certainly I'm proud to team up with those guys as we go from year to year.
Campus USA Credit Union can help with all your financial decisions. Join the team. Learn more at campuscu.com. Member NCUA.
Gator fans, this one's for you. Introducing Castaway Sauce Company, the hot sauce made by Gators for Gators. Their signature ball kicker hot sauce is inspired by Steve Spurrier's famous kick that beat Auburn in '66. If you love hot sauce with real flavor, not just heat and vinegar, Castaway delivers. Available at select public supermarkets, Castaway Sauce Company is founded by a lifelong Gator and proud UF alum. From mild to wild, they've got a flavor for every Gator tailgate. Grab your Castaway hot sauce today and taste the tradition. Learn more at Castaway.